I'm Edward October, and this is A Nefarious Nightmare. This podcast contains foul language and discussions of violence. Additional trigger warnings will be posted as needed in the show notes. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey guys, Amanda here. Courtney and I unfortunately won't have an episode this week due to personal life things getting in the way on Courtney's end. And me, well, I have COVID, or Crovid, as Courtney so graciously calls it. But fear not, because Courtney has been hard at work gathering snippets of favorite moments from our Not So Nefarious Criminals podcast that is exclusive only to Patreon. Our hope is that this will be a nice filler episode for you this week. A palate cleanser, of course. You'll get a nice sampling of what to expect if you join the Patreon. Anyway, please enjoy this episode, and we are so sorry about the delay on our normal feed. Enjoy.
Hey, it's me, Courtney. Sorry. So obviously you're getting a sampler platter of what our Patreon exclusive podcast, Not So Nefarious Criminals, has to offer. Each week we have a guest and we read and react to Florida Man articles. Sometimes the articles come from other places too, because the fun does not stop in Florida. Throughout this episode, you will hear me tell you about each and every clip. The first clip comes from our pilot episode. It's just Amanda and I.
Being respectful in the pool. It's not your pool. If you want to put your kid in the pool at your own house in his diaper, go freaking for it.
Hey, so we have given these people, all two people that are listening, we've given them 14 minutes and 32 seconds of banter.
Oh, yeah.
So
let's get to why we're here.
Yeah, so why are we here?
Why are we here? We're here to discuss some really dumb crimes.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait. You're starting, right? You have one.
Yeah. So, all right. So in the true fashion of Florida Man, I have a Florida Man story to start. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This was published July 3rd of this year. So this is about a week ago. No, 2 weeks ago. Speaking of, this year, we are 2 days away from being 1 year old in the podcast world.
Oh yeah! Happy birthday, Nefarious!
Happy birthday, Nefarious! Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so this was published July 3rd of 2022 at 9:42 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Okay, and this is according to Fox News.
Oh God!
Florida man with hustle, eat, sleep, repeat tattoo charged with throwing hot dog at police officer. A Tampa Bay area man was arrested Saturday for allegedly throwing a hot dog at an officer who warned him that he was violating a city ordinance, according to a local report. Jason, it's always a fucking Jason. Jason Stoll, 47, is charged with felony battery on a law enforcement officer.
Felony battery with a hot dog? Oh, come on.
And resisting an officer without violence. I like how they added, and resisting an officer without violence.
That's contradicting themselves right there.
Uh-huh. Around 12 a.m. Saturday at St. Petersburg police office I read that wrong. Around 12 a.m. Saturday, a St. Petersburg police officer told Stoll he could no longer sell hot dogs in the roadway after his street closure permit ended, according to court documents obtained by... They had to obtain court documents, bro. Obtained by WFLA. An officer asked Stoll to close up shop, but he continued to try selling a hot dog, the court documents. Stoll became frustrated and threw a hot dog at the officer, who was in full uniform at the time.
What? I'm sorry, if he was not in full uniform, then I wouldn't have listened to him either.
That would have been a hot dog fight. who was in full uniform at the time of the incident, according to the station. Okay, Stoll, who lives in Newport Richey, was booked into the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. Online court records show he is out after posting a whopping $2,500 bail. The court records.
That's still a lot for throwing a hot dog at somebody.
The court records note that he has many tattoos, like this is fucking relevant, including the phrases hustle, eat, sleep, and repeat. And what doesn't kill me makes me stronger, among many others. He faces a minimum of 3 years in jail if convicted.
What? Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Was there something in the hot dog? Was there like a switchblade in the hot dog? Like
I don't know, but like that shit that went left real fast. It's like this man was like selling a hot dog, and all of a sudden the police came by and were like, "Get your hands up!" It's just like, I'm just selling a hot dog, bro. And then like he got a little agitated. He's like, "Bitch!" And he threw a hot dog and probably called him a pig. And I mean, I'll make a hot dog out of you, you pig!
Oh my god! I can't believe he can get 3 years. Oh
Hey,
no!
you know what they say about karma? It comes in threes.
No.
Yeah, that's okay.
I feel like I need more information. I feel like, does he have like a record? Like, is he like a violent person? Like,
I'll tell you what, as soon as I have an update, I will be sure to tell you.
Okay, perfect. Like, I really feel like I need to know that because now I want to do one of mine. Hold on.
Well, I've got a Google alert on that, fortunately, because we know that that's super important.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna have to double check and make sure that I actually have a Google alert on that. But, you know.
Okay.
All right. So what do you got?
Mine's a little bit older. Mine's from January 18th of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So this is titled "Florida Man Arrested for DUI After Mistaking the Bank Drive-Thru for Taco Bell."
What? Okay.
So,
to be fair.
to be fair. What?
To be fair.
How are you getting him out of this?
If you're drunk, anything is going to be a Taco Bell drive-thru. But in what area of that bank, right, says eat great even late? Come on now.
I want to know, like, I
want some Taco Bell now, though.
If it says in here like what time of day it was. I'm like, what time of day was it? Was it like midnight? Because I feel like I would forgive him a little bit more if it was midnight than it was like 3 p.m. I don't know. I mean, nobody should ever drive drunk. I'm very, very, very against that.
Oh yeah, same.
But I mean, I feel like I need. Okay, let's go ahead and read it.
Yeah, read it.
So, Spring Hill, Florida. A Tampa man was arrested on Wednesday afternoon for DUI after he reportedly mistook a bank drive-thru for Taco Bell. According to the Hernando County Sheriff's Office, the manager of Bank of America called to report an impaired driver after he found an unconscious man behind the wheel of a blue sedan in the bank's drive-thru lane. So apparently this was during business hours. It's not funny.
Oh my god.
Okay.
An unconscious man.
How do you know he needs Taco Bell?
Wow.
So the manager told deputies that after beating on the car window for some time, he was able to wake up the driver.
Oh, good.
Oh no.
Did he get his food?
Upon waking up, the driver asked the bank manager for a burrito.
Oh.
Before driving away after being informed that he was not at Taco Bell. All right, well, he likes burritos.
I wonder if a burrito is like slang or like a code word for wallet of money. Like,
no, I'm pretty sure he just wanted a freaking burrito from Taco Bell.
Rolls of money. Maybe he was maybe he was actually trying to pull off this really like intricate, elaborate like bank robbery. And then he either A was like, give me a burrito, and he's like winking a lot, or he's like, give me all your fucking money. And then he thought about it. He's like, I'm just kidding. I just want a burrito, man. And the bank's like, what? Or maybe it was a Taco Bell and they were embarrassed and posed as a Bank of America. I don't know why, but when he said the Bank of America manager, that was funny to me. Like, I didn't expect it to be Bank of America, but I also kind of did.
It gets a little funnier too.
Okay, go for it.
So, like I told you, he drove away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they found him in the parking lot. The driver, Douglas Francisco, 28 years old, was still in the driver's seat with the car running. The manager of the bank confirmed that Francisco was the same driver who he had called about.
Okay.
After, according to the arrest report, Francisco made several unusual statements. Deputies also noted that he had delayed reactions to their questions as well as slow movements consistent with someone under the influence of prescription narcotics.
Oh.
So he wasn't even drunk.
Okay.
So after Francisco failed a series of field sobriety exercises, he was placed under arrest. The arrest report states that he had oxycodone and Xanax on him, both of which he was prescribed. He was
the munchies.
Yeah.
Maybe he just needed money for Taco Bell.
Maybe he got confused. He was going there to the ATM and got confused. You know, it makes sense.
He's like, man, I just want a Mexican pizza and some burritos.
He got $1,000 bond.
Oh, God. What?
That's it.
That's it?
That's it. That's all we have.
I'm going to be looking this guy up on Facebook.
Not right now. He has to be out by now. I mean, that was in 2018.
I want to know, like, I mean, did this guy ever end up, like, getting married? And did he end up having kids? Did he ever, like, start his own business? And maybe he works under, like, the Forbes 500 or something like that? Or, like, Fortune?
I doubt that.
You gotta have hope.
No. No.
Maybe he runs a Taco Bell. Maybe it's got. I doubt it, but like, I mean, it's a thought.
Maybe he used to work at Bank of America, and then he worked at Taco Bell, and he just got confused.
Maybe he works at Bank of America, and like, in order to like get new clients for Bank of America, he gives out free burritos. Dude, that is like stellar marketing.
I think that's what it was.
Had to be.
I do.
Okay, are you ready?
I am so ready.
This next clip comes from the Keb from the Unfiltered Podcast.
No, thank you.
You know, Joe's Apartment's the only movie I've ever walked out of. Yeah, Singing Roaches is where I draw the line. You know, I mean, that's just where I draw the line.
I mean, that's the entertainment value.
You know,
I mean, that would be what movie I've walked out of one movie and I don't remember what it was.
I even went to go see 50 Shades of Grey against my will because the soon-to-be world famous wife wanted to go see 50 Shades of Grey, and I was like, well, why don't we just go to the grocery store? You know, you'd see all kinds of old people there. That's what I thought it was about. Boy, was I in for a surprise.
Wait, what's this movie about, honey?
Yeah. She's like, you want to go see the next one? Yep.
I've yet to watch that movie. I'm just not interested.
Oh, no? You're missing out, man. Missing out.
Well, no, I've heard reviews of it, and I've heard people like over-describe it.
Over-describe it. I'll never do that to you. I will never over-describe 50 Shades of Grey to you.
I mean,
you know what's funny is that we're talking about Florida Man and all this, and you got a Florida man on here that's getting everybody off a fucking subject, you know? Hey, Kim, shut the fuck up.
No, you're good.
We don't care. We get off subject all the time.
Yeah, that's why we're behind the paper.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else?
Nope, that was all mine. Who's next?
It's Keb's turn.
Oh, okay. So I know we're here to have some fun with Florida. I live here, so if you need an excuse of why I am the way I am, that's it. So if I can get this thing to come up. So I have one here that was interesting. It's kind of short, it's kind of sweet, but it kind of goes along, and this is why I asked you if you had listened to our episode Oklahoma Corn Cob. the police in Palm Beach, Florida, if you don't know where that's where Mar-a-Lago is, or the Trump residency, so you know it's off the rails already. They discovered some marijuana down there, and they discovered it stuffed inside of the vagina of a woman who was arrested on a separate charge. So apparently this woman, she has an outstanding warrant, right, in Palm Beach. So she had gotten into a heated dispute with the Palm Beach homeowner for, services rendered. I don't know, maybe he forgot to pay her, put the money on the nightstand. I don't know what they do in that particular county down there. So, but as they questioned her further, the police noticed that the woman had an outstanding warrant in her name. And before arresting her, just like cops are known to do, the officer asked the woman if she had any drugs on her person. She then confessed to having a bag of weed stuffed in her vagina because she didn't have any pockets.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. It kind of goes back to the woman that was shooting people with no pants on. I mean, I know the old adage that to get anywhere in Florida, you have to pass 7 meth labs and a dead hooker, but I mean, and it was said that she had a bag of weed. I just don't know why a bag of weed is that important. I don't know.
She did what she had to do. I mean, we can't. It's kind of a pocket.
See,
this crazy people, man.
See, what's happening here is that I don't know if you guys have ever heard, but I'm a big Atlanta Braves fan. And in my house, in my house, when the Atlanta Braves are playing, the TV is on. And usually, I'm sitting in the same spot that we record Unfiltered, and usually I can hear the game going on in there until we start talking about something real interesting, and then you can hear the volume go down. And I just heard the volume go down, so we're being listened to. At least I am.
Well, it's $5.
Huh? So I watched this guy on TikTok that talks like politics and stuff. His name is Tom Powell, and he keeps saying Patreon. I just thought he was sneezing.
Patreon. That does sound like a sneeze.
Yeah. But real quick, we have fun with Florida Man and all that good stuff, but Florida Man is not exclusive to Florida.
No.
It's not. Now, I told you that story to tell you this story. Here in Jacksonville, every night on the TV, local news, some meth lab is being busted because people are, quote, going to and from the house at all hours of the night. So I got, with the local community, and I said, what we really need to do is we need to start a meth delivery service. Apparently it doesn't exist here in Florida. However, it does exist in Louisiana.
Oh my God. Because
a man's facing criminal charges, likely due to technical difficulties relating to text messaging, namely accidentally texting incriminating evidence directly to the police department.
Oh.
So a sheriff's deputy receives a text message from a wrong number offering to sell crystal meth. The deputy, not only did he want to sell it to him, he said, "Hey dog, I'll bring it to you, yo." So the deputy arranged to meet up with this guy. His name, I don't like dropping names, but I'm going to drop names. Dwayne Herbert, because you are a fucking moron. He arrived at a predetermined location, probably a Walgreens. And, that's the preferred Craigslist meeting place.
Right.
And predetermined location carrying not just the drugs, but also 2 firearms. 2 firearms.
Ooh.
And for extra fun, he was a convicted felon. So they don't like that. That's 20 years. In Florida, that's 20 years.
That's all?
Yeah.
So he's promptly arrested and now faces serious criminal charges for selling drugs and possession of firearms in Louisiana.
What a smart guy, man.
This next clip is from Kevin of the Jury Room Podcast.
Well, I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. Fuck it.
It doesn't matter. Well, as long as I don't know.
Right. All right.
All right, Kevin, you start.
Now that we're on feet, God, I can't control myself. I'm so excited now. All right. So my first story, this is the headline. Oh God, this coming off of the feet, this is going to sound really bad.
Go for it.
He put it in my mouth. Man loses finger in confrontation at Tavares Park, police say.
What? Wait, where do you lose his finger?
So, this is a confrontation between two men ended with one of them losing a finger and the other landing in jail, according to Tavares police. Police arrested Daniel Campbell, 37, at his home.
Did he eat it?
Investigators said they were called to Summerall Park for reports of a man losing his finger. The victim was taken to the hospital where police interviewed him. The man claimed Campbell came up to him in the park and got in his face, according to the arrest affidavit. The victim said he shoved Campbell. Okay, we're getting to the good place now. As he was being shoved, Campbell bit the man's index finger,
Mike Tyson that bitch off.
taking off an inch of the digit above the victim's first knuckle. Police found Campbell at his home and placed him in handcuffs.
I can't.
As he was being arrested, officers said Campbell said, "He punched me first, and I bit his finger off because he put it in my mouth."
I can't.
This is the best part. Police said they were able to find the finger and place it into evidence.
Oh, so they didn't even get to sew it back on?
They didn't even get to put it back on. It's in evidence.
Oh my God. So you said that they were shoving each other. Somebody was shoving somebody, and
Right.
all I can see was somebody poking their finger in their chest. Look at
And he's
you,
like,
man. Like, don't mess with me.
Right, that's exactly what happened. So
He's like, well, what if I do mess with you and bite your finger off, bitch?
But he put it in his mouth. He put it in my mouth. I had to bite it off.
I'm sorry. If somebody's going to put their finger in my mouth during the fight, I don't feel like I should be charged if I bite it off. That was their own decision to stick their finger in my mouth where there is teeth.
That's pretty gross.
This clip comes from Martha Madrigal and Charles Tyson Jr. from Full Circle, the podcast.
I have one that's actually out of Florida.
Go for it. Let's hear it.
This was from First Coast News in Florida, and I decided to look up my birthday, which is December the 8th. This was from December 8th, 2018.
Hold on a minute. You said December 8th?
Yes.
You're a
That's
day
my
after my daughter.
Oh, wow. She's the 7th.
Yeah,
You're
she's
Sagittarius.
Obviously.
a
I am.
Sagittarius.
I'm a Sagittarius too, so.
Oh,
I really
okay.
love Sagittariuses. They're some of my favorites.
Mine too. And Leos.
Leos are all
Very
right.
good.
I have an ex as a Leo.
Oh, see.
I got a lot of love for Leos, man.
I'm the best Leo
Okay.
here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with. I'm gonna agree with that.
I'll
are the
agree with
best
you.
Leo. All right, so this was on December 8th.
Of 2018, out of St. Petersburg, Florida. The headline reads, Florida man offered to pay officer with hamburger for oral sex, police say. Frank Capone got busted trying to offer a female officer food for oral sex, according to a Pinellas County arrest affidavit. Local police are cracking down on one of the world's oldest crimes, even if the attempted transactions are unconventional. A Pinellas Park man is accused of offering to have oral sex with an undercover St. Petersburg police officer in exchange for a hamburger.
Not a cheeseburger.
On December 1st. I will gladly blow you today for no. Wimpy and Papa. According to the arrest affidavit, Frank Capone, 57, propositioned a female officer he thought was a prostitute. Authorities arrested him on a prostitution charge. It's unclear what type of burger was allegedly offered.
McDonald's for sure.
I thought that was fun. I just thought that was fun.
But not a cheeseburger.
I love it.
No cheese. That's extra.
I think she arrested him because she was offended.
I hope she was undercover.
She was hungry.
Walk up on a cop. Check this out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hungry. She was hangry.
Hangry.
I would
Wow.
arrest somebody
Trade
too
you.
if somebody didn't offer me a hamburger.
I will trade you a hamburger for oral sex.
oh no.
Yeah, Florida
Oh,
man.
it's
Florida. I see.
so
That's. I
sad.
thought that was
Well, and my
classically for Florida man from my birthday.
My questions are: did he just get the hamburger, or was it cold? Because
We
you
don't
know
know.
that kind of like
It doesn't say.
it doesn't make a difference.
It doesn't say. I don't think it
So-
matters.
Was it a hamburger?
No, it was not. It was a hamburger.
No cheese. That's the other part.
But yes,
but
it
not a
was
cheeseburger.
It was one of those handy sandwiches that you can carry around.
Probably didn't have anything on it.
It doesn't say anything about the cheese, but yeah. Kels, do you have a Florida man?
Oh, I do.
Did you bring one?
So mine, I picked this one because it's that perfect marriage of trashy and clever.
Okay. Like me.
Not right. So the headline goes, Florida man accused of using Kool-Aid packets to steal nearly $1,000 in Walmart merchandise.
What?
This is from
Sounds
Fox
legit.
23 News. Now, this
I
is
kind
actually-
of feel like I know where this is going because I used to work in retail.
I don't.
This is actually kind of clever and it's
Okay,
trashy.
okay.
So North Naples, Florida. A Florida man was arrested Sunday on suspicion of using Kool-Aid packets to steal $994 worth of merchandise from a North Naples Walmart. Bradley Young, 37, was charged with grand theft and shoplifting after Collier County Sheriff's Office deputies said he hid the powdered drink packets in his hand while scanning expensive items. In turn, each item he scanned at a self-checkout register rang up only 24 cents each.
Oh, right. This never occurred to me. But what about once it gets to the bagging area? I guess he was avoiding the bagging area.
That's a
Go
good
ahead. I'm
ass
sorry.
question.
Go ahead.
According to deputies, Young used his ruse to purchase a $248 scooter, a $119.87 dual navigation system, $160 worth of batteries.
Wow.
all-
Essentials.
Right. In all, Young rang up 3 Kool-Aid packets, along with a handful of other small items for a total of $24.44, but the actual value of the items taken was $994.13.
I think he saved a lot
I'm
of money.
saying,
If
Great
it would have
coupon
gotten out of the
pull.
store.
right, that's the problem. You got to move fast when you do that shit.
This is why they want to magic marker your receipt at the Walmart.
Right. So a loss prevention worker at
They
Walmart.
do up north.
Right. So basically, the loss prevention worker, they recognized him from an earlier incident. So you don't do it in the same store.
Well, he didn't want to draw. Gas is expensive right now.
And they watched him in the self-checkout lane. They said that Young also took a soda and a fan from the store's shelves and returned them at customer service after showing workers there a photo of a receipt on his phone.
Oh my
Young
God.
remains in custody with the Collier County Sheriff's Office and is listed as a convicted felon in Ohio. So he did this stuff.
It's
multiple
kinda
states.
brilliant.
It is kind of brilliant.
He just got
Except he
caught.
didn't get away with He didn't get out of the store. So
I can hear my father now. If you would
So-
just take that energy and
See-
initiative and put it towards something positive,
Yeah.
like getting a damn job.
right. My guess is he did it once and got away with it, like with one item.
He was like, I got a new occupation.
Right. And then he got paid over time.
You don't
'Cause
go to the same store.
It's possible, especially if it's a bulky, like it's possible if it weighs nothing and you ring it up, it doesn't trigger the bagging thing.
Right.
Or if it says, do you want to bypass the bagging thing? Like you want to put something large right into your cart.
Right.
So, and maybe even he did it by accident the first time. And then he went, and he figured out this thing. But you go do that with one item, not your whole cart.
Right.
Well, that's just dumb.
Well, if anybody ever wants to know why Neiman Marcus doesn't sell Kool-Aid packets, now we know.
Right? I don't blame them.
I always wondered.
This clip comes from Ryan RCX Murphy, who is responsible for the opening and exit theme you hear on our main feed. I just love the fact that they had to add in that he had a Florida tattoo on his forehead.
I mean, hey, that's a bold move though, right there. Like you gotta earn your respect. They gotta mention that. Anybody that ever talks to you or talks about you. By the way, he had a Florida tattoo on his forehead. All right, like I was gonna hire this guy, but he had a Florida tattoo on his forehead. What did you want from me? All right.
Well, maybe he just wanted everybody to know that he was, indeed from Florida.
I think he was just proud.
He had a lot of love. I respect that. Like I love being from Texas, but like. I don't know if I'd ever get a fucking Texas tattoo on my forehead or on my face. Like, look, I love it, but yeah, it's a bit extreme.
You can probably tell somebody that it was a birthmark.
Yeah. I mean, potentially, yeah. If it's small enough, which I would have to get a small one. I'd have to get a small one because that's all I could afford. Fucking these tattoo prices, goddammit. Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. I'm just imagining like a mole or something shaped like Texas. That would be kind of wild. Mm-hmm. So you have a story for us?
Oh yeah, I got multiple. Okay, the first. This is not the crazy one, but this one is still hilarious to me. Okay, Texas. All right, we're gonna take it to Texas. We're gonna take it away from Florida. Like I gotta shame my home state because. Come on, guys, do better. All right, that's all I ask of you. And like, look, I'm not mad at you being a criminal. I know sometimes you got to make dues meet. I get it, you got to make ends meet and all that shit. But look, Texas man accused of flying drone over prison to deliver drugs contraband. A Texas man arrested Thursday after officials said he attempted to use a drone to deliver drugs and other contrabands into a federal prison. KTLA sister station KXAN reports Brian, 42, was federally charged by a criminal complaint with attempting to provide contraband in prison, serving as an airman with an airman certification with possession of blah, 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 blah. Basically, this motherfucker threw a drone over prison walls and was like just dropping fucking little baggies in the motherfucking prison. And I'm like, dog, like, look, all right, look, we can say that shit is wild, yes. But we can't laugh at that guy because he's being like, look, that's the first time you probably ever heard of a motherfucker using that technological ingenuity to deal drugs. I mean, it's impressive, honestly.
I actually feel like I might have seen this on like some movie. The first movie that comes to mind is like Borat.
Oh my God. You should have. It's hilariously obvious that someone would do. Yeah, this motherfucker is the first one. How long have drones been around?
About 10 years now, I think.
This is the first I'm hearing about this shit. They've been around 5-10 years commercially. And this is the first I'm hearing about a motherfucker doing that, smuggling drugs into a prison with a drone. And that shit is wild as fuck to me.
Fucking drones, man.
Cheers to you, bro, and your ingenuity. You know what I'm saying? You broke the law, it happens, but you know what? It's a funny story. I will say that. I could never imagine that someone would do that shit. And that's why, like, hey, fucking mad love to you, dude. I don't know. Hopefully they are easy on you.
Yeah, you're right. You gotta give him that. He's smart. This clip comes from Jami Rice of Dirty Money Moves and Murderish.
But shall I get into one of my articles?
Yes.
All right, now these guys are real doozies. Okay, so this is from, I didn't even think to say who it's from. Let's see. thedrive.com. That's where it's coming from. And it was, let's see. So it's a Florida man. All right, so I'm going to start reading. It's a Florida man was charged with marijuana possession and a license plate light violation that got him pulled over in the first place. However, that is not why he was arrested, but it's what catapulted this moving violation into the limelight. That's the real star here. So, it's the smoking gun. According to the smoking gun, Brandon McComas was driving a silver sedan in Vero Beach, Florida. Vero Beach, I don't know how to pronounce it. On Monday night, when the sheriff's deputy noticed his car license plate light was out and proceeded to signal the driver to a stop. As the arrest report shows, the deputy approached the driver's side door and quickly noticed McComas attempting to conceal a large bulge in his front pocket. I mean, this whole situation wrote itself. As a result, and I mean, I feel like the guy's answer was very, well, you guys will see. As a result, the deputy conducted a pat-down search on McComas, fearing that the bulge might be some kind of weapon that could be used against him. Well, I'd argue, listen, a bulge could be a weapon that could be used against you. I don't know.
It has a mind of its own.
It has a mind of its own. I don't know if it was locked and loaded or what. No. When McComas was questioned about the large bulge in his pants, he simply replied, "That's what she said." I mean, of course that's what he said. That officer just should have known. He walked right into that. He walked right into it.
Wow.
Unhumored by McComas's portrayal of Michael Scott from The Office. I love The Office reference. And unable to determine what the bulge was, the deputy placed him in handcuffs and conducted a thorough search. The guy, McComas, said, "It's just weed," he said allegedly once the search began. And a more extensive search revealed that the bulge had nothing to do with McComas's male anatomy. Subsequent search of his car turned up a second pipe that McComas reportedly claimed was his. So basically inside his pocket was a cylindrical plastic case containing weed and a small glass pipe.
Okay. That's what she said. When that officer went to him and was like, or I think he said, like, what do you have in, what is that you're carrying?
Yeah.
My first thought was I was expecting him to reply with what my family passed down to me.
Very large asset.
And then, based off of where very large. And then based off of where I work, because contrary to popular belief, we see a lot of sex toys. I pick a lot of sex toys at my job. No, like whenever you said it was like a large cylindrical tube, then I was thinking of like one of those penis pumps, because we saw a lot of those too. Well, okay, this is all making sense.
Yes.
I'm going to find that guy and see if we're selling anything to him. But
and I'm sorry, officer, but the last time I checked, a penis pump is not illegal.
You just gotta make the cop really uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. It sounded like, he tried to kill him with humor, and it just didn't work. So, I'm sorry, but I would have died laughing. That joke will always be funny. That's come on.
Yeah, I probably just would have let him go. Like that's why I can't be a cop.
No, yeah, like
I would be horrible.
A good one. You can go. You can pass.
Fist bump. Get out of here.
I'd be laughing my ass off and be like, "You are a funny man. Hang tight." And you even come back with a ticket because
you and your cylindrical tube can go.
You and your cylindrical tube that you made me pick at.
Those are stories for another day. I'm sure you've got some good
ones. A little
ones.
Salty about it.
Oh gosh.
But at least they're clean, I think. I hope.
Gosh, let's hope. Not if they're coming from Florida, I'm sure.
This clip comes from Rob from the Criminal Activity Podcast.
They wouldn't even think to look for that.
Boom. Yeah, because if they search everybody and they find weed instead of crystal meth, they're like, whatever.
We are in a red state, so they would be too stupid to figure it out. All right.
Makes sense.
Fuck Greg Abbott. What do you have for us?
Fuck Greg Abbott.
I have this one. Before I get started, do you guys believe in aliens?
Yes.
Do you believe in dragons?
No.
Okay. This is from Vice.com.
Okay.
And it says the headline is Florida man arrested trying to warn the Space Force base of alien dragon war.
What? Did you hear what he just said?
No, my kid was screaming.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's okay. Florida man arrested trying to warn the Space Force base of alien dragon war.
Oh. I like that one. Hey, I'm about the aliens here. And
alien dragon war.
If somebody wants to throw in a dragon, as much as I don't think I believe in them, I can't completely rule them out because, I mean...
Alien dragon war. Okay? That would be like...
It's like Godzilla, right?
That would be like
Godzilla
us.
versus Alien?
That would be like us. We would equate to the aliens, right? And the dragons would equate to flat earthers. Think about it. That kind of war? No.
No. I mean, I would be like... If it came down to that, like, what would we be worth? Nothing.
Alien dragon war.
Like food for the aliens and
the
dragons.
We're fucked.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm just giving myself up. I might as well just put myself on a skewer. Yes.
All right.
So, the article reads, the incident took place outside of Patrick Space Force Base in Brevard County, Florida. As first reported by military.com, Corey Allen Johnson stole an Ford F-150 truck and drove it to the Space Force Base. When local deputies arrested him, he explained that he was on a mission given to him by the President of the United States.
Who was the president at that time?
This just happened July 28th, so
Makes
Biden.
sense. Makes sense, okay.
Mr. Johnson disclosed he took possession of the vehicle 3 days prior and did not know who the owner of the vehicle was. He stated that the President of the United States told him he needed to take the vehicle. It goes on to say that, according to arrest records, Johnson explained that the President, in his head, told him that he needed to drive to Patrick Air Force Base and warn the Guardians and tell the government that there were U.S. aliens fighting with Chinese dragons.
Okay, I guarantee you that he did watch that one episode of American Horror Story. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but it was from last year's season where the president was speaking to somebody in their head. Or was it the president or his wife? And there was aliens involved. I don't know about dragons.
I've only seen little snippets of that season so far. I haven't seen the entire thing through yet.
Okay, well, it's good. But I didn't spoil anything, I promise. But still, y'all should watch it. Then you would really understand where I was going. But also the fact that he stole a Ford F-150, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
But then it says that the Patrick Space Force Base is mainly in charge of satellite launches and operations on the east coast of America, and it's hard to know if a fight between U.S. aliens and Chinese dragons would technically fall under its jurisdiction.
That's not under my jurisdiction. I'm not helping.
It's good to know that President Biden has telepathic abilities and can talk to random people in the U.S. instead of just, I don't know, picking up his red phone and calling them.
I wonder if this is why that he was able to forgive $10,000 in student loan debt.
Hey, he's got something going on apparently. So
it has to be the dragons and the aliens.
It's got to be the dragons. I think he's on the dragon side. And just I'm watching the new Game of Thrones. I can't even remember what it's called. I'm watching it.
Watch that show.
The House of the Dragons. What do they call it, the season? But that's all in my head right now. So I'm definitely going Team Dragon.
This next one, Lanie Hobbs of the True Crime Cases with Lanie, or formerly True Crime Fan Club, she came in and actually took over for Amanda because Amanda had started getting COVID. This also includes Jay from both the Unfiltered Podcast and the Twopenny Podcast.
So, speaking of Florida Man, and me totally ignoring the whole request to, freestyle.
Right.
Would you like to go first, Lanie?
Oh, sharing my story? Absolutely.
Yeah, so it'll be Lanie, Jay, me, and then back to Lanie, aka Amanda, Jay.
Yes. Lanie. Okay.
Lanie.
Lanie. So, headline, is a Florida man left special piece of evidence at a crime scene. So some criminals are hard to catch, but in this case, one Florida man left a special piece of evidence at the crime scene, making him a little easier to identify. The incident happened late on Monday in Palm Harbor when 64-year-old Andy D, as we'll call him, we're not going to expose him any further than he needs to be, went over to a neighbor's house looking for a person who he believed owed him money. So the man who answered the door said the person who Andy D was looking for wasn't home. Well, Andy D didn't like that answer, and he was like, listen, I'm going to continue to yell and knock until you answer this door. Well, he was still not getting what he wanted. An old Florida man decided to set a pickup truck sitting in the driveway on fire. Now, Pinellas County Sheriff's detectives reviewed the victim's surveillance footage and found something interesting. What do you think they found?
Shit.
Close?
You're right.
Close.
Oh,
not close at all, actually.
He did not.
Not close at all. Okay.
He did not.
Not only can Andy D be seen approaching the house with a red gas can in his hand and then running away after the fire started, but detectives found a unique piece of evidence that would tie him to the crime. They found the gas can that he was carrying with Andy written on it. So Andy D admitted that the gas can was his, and he was charged with arson. And we still have no word on if he got his money back.
I have a question. Have any of y'all ever been to the gathering of the Juggalos?
No, my sister is a juggalette, right? Yeah, so she's all about it. Fago, whatever the hell that is, she's into it. And so I only know of this thing because of her. But yeah, no, it looks unsafe.
I don't do all that Juggalo stuff anymore because I'm almost 40. But you know.
It doesn't look safe, is what I'll say.
No. So I went to one gathering, and I shit you not, we're watching Twisted, right, on stage, and like we're all like getting real like crunk and everything like that, and then all of a sudden I'm looking over, and obviously everybody's doing drugs, right? Everybody,
obviously,
and their mom and their dog are doing drugs. People are smoking cigarettes, like there's cigarettes everywhere, and there's this one person, and I'm not trying to laugh, but it was kind of funny. It was scary at the time, but there was this one person in the middle of all of us smoking a cigarette in one hand with a gas can in the other, just huffing the shit. And I'm just like, wow.
Oh my gosh. Do you see? Dangerous. Not a level of fun I ever want to achieve.
No.
There was some good times, but there was some also like that.
There were some good times. I mean, minus the huffing and the potential like setting yourself on fire situation, self-immolation. No big deal.
That's what that story brought me to. I was like, man, I need to find that chick.
That guy could have been Andy D.
Could have, Andy's a very,
it just reminded me of like Toy Story, because you know how like Woody has Andy written on his foot, and I was like, maybe he was just like, this is mine.
That's
Andy.
funny.
So yeah, I felt bad for Andy D. Didn't get his money, and then got arrested.
Andy D, if you sign up for one of our Patreon tiers, please fill us in and let us know.
Let us know. Let us know.
Andy, are you okay? Are you okay?
Andy, are you okay? Andy?
I'm assuming he's in jail.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know for how long, right? I mean, because really, how long do people go away for arson? Like 5 years?
In Florida, probably like 30 days.
Yeah. I was like, that one was on my birthday, like in 2021. So Andy D's for sure out by now. COVID, they released him. For sure. They let him go.
He's definitely working at Taco Bell.
I'm so glad that he got reunited with Woody.
So weird that you say that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Just wait.
So there's so much out there. And when I was looking at the stuff that really interests me, obviously, because I'm crazy and I have a very dark sense of humor, was stuff that, included stuff that, wasn't so much Florida man. But, so instead I have some shorties. I'm going to give you a top 10 list tonight. I'm going to do 5 to start off, and I'll come back with the top 5. Okay. But the stupidest criminals, of all time. So number 10, name is Manja.
Manja.
Isn't that Italian?
That sounds like it.
It means eat.
Yeah, but
Manja.
Nebraska, so I don't really know. But anyway, Oh, Manja coming in at number 10. It says, on a Sunday day in March, Manja, a 17-year-old boy in Omaha, Nebraska, decided to stick a gun in the face of a woman who was taking her son to school, demanding that she give him her car.
Oh.
She, of course, obliged, and the boy was about to take off when he realized the car had a manual transmission, which he was unable to drive. He tried to fumble around with the controls, but after moving the car only a matter of yards in a few minutes, he decided to bolt on foot and was caught a few blocks later by authorities. Manja. Couldn't drive a stick shift.
It's really
Kids
funny
these
that you bring
days,
up
really.
Manja, because like I said, for whatever reason, these episodes always circle around food for some reason.
There you go.
There you go. First one.
That's
I
right.
hope you play sound effects to these, right? So we'll be like number 5. Because like Kiss FM does that for Kid Craddock in the morning. Every time Kelly does her like 5, like her top 5 or whatever. It's like number 5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that Courtney wants to sit there and edit that in for
Easy.
an extra
Easy.
2 hours.
Here, number 5.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I like it.
It's so easy. You're fine.
It's easy. Number 9, Derek Mosley. Planning is hugely important when trying to pull off a crime and is essential to the success of the act of every detail be well thought through in advance. But Derek Mosley didn't place very high importance on these things before he decided to rob a gun store armed with a baseball bat.
What?
Seeing as it was a gun shop, the manager pulled a gun on the would-be robber and kept him at bay until authorities arrived. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Even worse, don't bring a baseball bat.
Yeah, don't do that.
Terrible idea.
Dummy. Here we got 2 for here. Joey Miller and Matthew McNelly.
Oh my gosh.
These men were behind likely the worst and least thought out disguises in the history of crime. When committing their misdeed, they didn't use the masks, hoods, or baklavas typical of most criminals. Is it baklavas?
Yeah.
Is that how you say that? Okay. Because baklava's a good
Wait,
dessert.
no. Baklavas.
Yeah, that's a dessert.
Baklavas.
It's balaclavas.
Oh, no, they both.
Balaclava.
Balaclavas.
Guess what?
Balaclavas.
I'm going to rewind. When committing their
Vampire
misdeed,
Weekend had a song. It's
they
fine.
didn't use the masked hoods or anything else to cover their heads like most criminals.
Whoa, now
Instead,
we're
they-
getting to unfriendly
right.
territory, masked hoods.
Oh, come on.
I'm
We
a little
weren't going
nervous.
there. We weren't going there. But instead, they chose to draw on their faces with permanent marker.
Dummies.
While it may have made them hard to recognize during the crime, permanent marker is, as the name suggests, notoriously hard to remove.
Yeah.
Which left the men extremely easy to identify when the police were looking for the culprits. The dumb stunt earned them the duo name Dumb and Dumber.
Fitting.
It is. Mark Smith. Moving on, number 7. Breaking into homes can be tiring work, but most criminals are smart enough to wait until they get home before taking a nap. Not Mark Smith. In 2007, a long time ago, Smith, who was high on Valium and drunk on vodka, decided to break into a home, and since he was likely feeling the effects of the drugs and alcohol, he decided to curl up and take a nap on the homeowner's bed.
I mean, why wouldn't you do that?
Exactly. He was awoken by the sheriff's deputies.
Excuse me, sir. I believe you don't belong here.
Yeah, he's a
somebody
genius.
woke him up.
Yeah. This next person, and this name is cool, Claus Schmidt.
Ooh.
I love people named Claus.
I'm here for it.
Schmidt.
Yeah, Claus Schmidt.
Did he sneak into somebody's chimney?
No, but he should have.
Okay.
Because what he did was not right.
Okay.
And it was very stupid. But, so Claude, a man in Berlin, it doesn't say if it's what country, but I'm assuming it's over there. In Berlin, decided to rob a bank with a handgun. Makes sense. Now, this acted out like a pretty standard bank robbery until the tellers asked him, "Do you need a bag?" To which Schmidt responded, "You're damn right it's a real gun."
Wow.
This made it obvious to the tellers that the robber was deaf.
Oh, no.
With this new
What?
realization, they sounded the alarm, which notified the police, while Schmidt was none the wiser. In a funny
my
twist, Schmidt later sued the bank for apparently abusing his disability.
That's
Is he wrong?
no.
No.
I mean, he has a civil case.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
We're
know
gonna
if
get
he won or not.
Papa
but
on this one.
I'm going to have to ask my true crime friends to look into that for me to find out if he actually won that case.
Oh, man.
And last but certainly not least,
Our final clip comes from Carissa of Beauty Unlocked, the podcast.
Absolutely.
Carissa, what do you
Is
have?
it my
to-
turn?
It
Right.
is
So
your turn.
I listen, the first, I know that it's like Florida man or Florida man related, whatever kind of stories and stuff like that. But I remember first hearing about Florida and the fuckery that goes on in that state. And I've been to Florida, but I mean, like, I didn't know about all this fuckery. Like, and I remember I heard it on the Haunted Heart podcast. They did an episode on their show about it. And I was like, what the hell is happening? So I found some.
Did you find?
I mean, I found. Let me tell you, I don't know. Apparently, there's a thing where people are obsessed with toes. I found 2 stories about that, but let me get into this one. This one was where I was kind of like, really? You would actually do this? Florida man arrested after buying meth and asking cops to test its authenticity. I mean, like, so this was, I found this on complex.com, and it was written by Mackenzie Cummings Grady.
Okay.
So a Florida man was arrested after phoning the police to have some meth tested for authenticity after he purchased it from a local bar. And this is Fox 13 reports. So Thomas Eugene Colucci of Spring Hill called 911 because he was worried he had purchased bath salts, telling officers he was an experienced, this is quote unquote, experienced drug user who knew what it should feel like to smoke meth, basically. And so the Hernando County Sheriff's Office wrote on Facebook, okay, that when authorities arrived, they were told by Colucci he wanted the meth tested so others wouldn't buy fake meth from the individual who sold it to him. Wow, that's a concerned citizen right there, right?
That's smart.
Yeah.
So intelligent.
Yeah, he added that he wanted authorities to put the person in trouble for selling potentially fake meth, but was unable to provide a name or any point of contact for the individual who sold him the drugs. So authorities proceeded to test the substance after Colucci handed them 2 small baggies filled with white crystals. The substance was indeed meth, and Colucci was arrested. That went awry.
Wow.
Yeah, he was taken to the hospital for a medical evaluation after telling authorities he was having chest pains, but was then brought to the Hernando County Detention Center. So this is shit. Colucci is being charged with possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. He was held on a $7,000 bond, and it wasn't immediately clear whether he had retained a lawyer. So this is what they said. So if you or someone you know have doubts about the authenticity of any illegal narcotics you have on hand or have obtained from another person, the Hernando County Sheriff's Office is pleased to provide this service for free or free of charge. And this is what the department wrote on Facebook. And I'm like, you arrested the guy. So why would we say, yeah, I'm going to call this station? Like, what?
Florida man would.
I'm about to say they're in Florida, so they're like, hey man, this guy did it. Maybe others will.
We're going to need that information for our show notes, by the way.
I'm just like, what? So the police are like, yeah, we provide this service free of charge. It doesn't say though whether or not you're going to be arrested for it, but
right. Oh man. Florida man.
Florida man.
I'm just kind of baffled about how every Florida man case or case that's like Florida man, it's always like the bond or the bail is always a weird number.
Please visit patreon.com, search A Nefarious Nightmare, and you can get early release episodes and exclusive content such as the sampler you just experienced. Also, feel free to head over to our social media where all can be found at our link tree. Much love and take care. Oh, don't forget, when you mess with the bees, you get the hive.
Thank you for listening to A Nefarious Nightmare. Original intro music by Ghost Stories Incorporated. Remixed by Ryan RCX Murphy. Additional music provided by Epidemic Sound. This podcast was researched, scripted, and produced by Amanda Cronin and Courtney Finner. A Nefarious Nightmare is a Cloud 10 iHeart podcast. Managed by A Nefarious Nightmare, Sim Sarna, and Jami Rice of Murderish and Dirty Money Moves. Thank you again for listening, and be vigilant.